Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for all the support I've been getting. It's like my last video did wonderful. I appreciate all the new subscribers and all the comments, all the likes, and again, just thank you for all that. It's really fun bringing this content to you guys, and I hope it just continues to grow. And yeah, let's get into it. Today I'm bringing you news from Secret Level, Amazon Prime's new anthology series following 15 games and bringing them to TV in an animated series. This is coming from the creators of Love, Death, and Robots from Netflix. If you guys have not watched that, I highly recommend you guys go check those out. Tons of just mini short episodes of all these different stories with different animation styles. It's just a lot of fun and really recommend. 2 months ago, they released a teaser trailer for this, and slowly we've been getting more info about what's to come. Courtesy of Culture Crave, we have this graphic here going over some of the voice castings that we have, along with all the franchises, which we do already know, and we'll go through and talk about some confirmed details about these and some speculation on what these shows could be about. So getting into some of the big names that are going to be voice acting in this, we have Keanu Reeves, who I believe is going to be voice acting in the Armored Core episode. We have Arnold Schwarzenegger, as well as Patrick Schwarzenegger, his son. And we also have other names like Kevin Hart and Emily Swallow. Now getting into all the video game franchises that the episodes are going to be based on. There are some ones that I'm really excited for and other ones that I'm just very curious to see what they're going to do with them. Starting off with that, we have Pac-Man. I'm very curious to see what they actually can do with this and how they can make it interesting to us as a viewer. Because, I don't know, maybe there's some deep Pac-Man lore, I don't know. But from what I know, it's pretty basic. And so I guess we'll just have to see what they have. We do have a short little teaser of Pac-Man in the trailer, and it does seem to be looking very high quality. So it's pretty cool to see a new take of Pac-Man looking realistic and not in his classic style. Next, we have Warhammer, and specifically Space Marine 2. And we've recently found out from IGN that this is going to be a sequel to the Space Marine 2 campaign. And we're also getting the same voice actor who voice acted as Titus in the series. For those of you who don't know, he's the main character that you play as. And if you've played the campaign, we know that we kind of get a big reveal at the end. So hopefully they tie that into what's going to be happening in this episode. And hopefully we get some new lore details. And possibly this could tie into future updates for Space Marine 2. Next we have Concord, which we all know what has happened to Concord. The game went live for about 11 days and then was shut down after that due to poor reception and poor player counts. Obviously, Concord's on here still because who knows how long this has been in development for, and they probably expected the game to do great. So yeah, we'll just see what the episode is about, and I'm sure it's going to be more like that Guardians of the Galaxy style that we've seen before with their trailers. And I forgot to actually mention this in my Concord video, but with the episode coming out and the updates that we've seen on Steam, again, the updates don't really mean much. Possibly they could be gearing up for a re-release. And if they are gearing up for a re-release, I bet you they're banking on this episode hopefully bringing some re-interest into their brand new IP. But we'll just have to see. I can't imagine it'll do much. Next, we have MegaMan, and I'm sure everyone knows MegaMan is a classic franchise. So I'm sure we'll just get some more story details about MegaMan and becoming the character that we now know and some of his growth there. Next, we have Unreal Tournament, which Unreal Tournament is a classic arena shooter from the 2000s. And we actually got a pretty long teaser for this added into one of the trailer clips. And for those of you who don't know, Unreal Tournament is one of the things that made Unreal Engine and Epic Games like really big, starting off really early. In this trailer, we just get a lot of world building and what it will focus around, talking about how these competitors now fight in this arena. And it's become a huge thing for the world and the city. I think the best way to describe it in today's terms is like Apex Legends, how in their world, all these competitors come and fight for glory and for fame and for recognition. Next, we have New World Eternum. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I've not played New World, but what I do know is Eternum is where this is going to take place within New World. This seems to very much be a world building episode, as well as introducing new stories and characters to hopefully generate interest to the game. Next up, we have Armored Core, and I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm a big fan of all things mechs, Gundam, everything. So I'm really looking forward to this. I'm excited to see what they do. I'm really excited to see how Keanu Reeves is portrayed within this world. I think he's going to be a great fit, and I'm expecting a lot from this episode. Next up, we have Spelunky. And I actually don't know a whole bunch about Spelunky. I'm not sure about you guys. It is an older franchise from 2008, and it was later brought to Xbox 360 in 2012. But a quick synopsis is the player controls a spelunker who explores a series of caves while collecting treasure, saving damsels, fighting enemies, and dodging traps. The caves are procedurally generated, making each run of the game very unique. So it sounds like this is going to be a fun episode. The game is originally 2D, so this is another franchise that's being brought to 3D, so it'll just be cool to see what that looks like compared to the original game. Honor of Kings is a Chinese MOBA, also unofficially translated as King's Glory, and this MOBA is developed by Timi Studios and is published by Tencent Games. This was first released in mainland China in 2015 and later got an international adaptation titled Arena of Valor. And believe it or not, but in 2020, Honor of Kings had over 100 million daily active users, making it one of the highest grossing mobile games of all time. And next up, we have Sifu. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen its cover art before. And Sifu is a beat 'em up game from 2022, which was developed and published by Slowclap. This game is set in China, and the player controls the child of a martial arts school's Sifu, which means master, who seeks revenge on those responsible for their father's death. Every time the protagonist dies, they are resurrected by a magical talisman and age up, gaining access to more powerful attacks but reducing their health. When the player character becomes too old, they can die permanently, in which case players must restart the level from the beginning and from the same age as their initial attempt. Getting into the last 5 franchises, we have Dungeons & Dragons. Now, Dungeons & Dragons is obviously a huge IP, and I've recorded tons of takes for Dungeons & Dragons, and I really don't know what to expect. There's not a whole lot of details on this, but I can assume it's just a lot more world building, and people are speculating possibly some tie-ins to like Baldur's Gate 3 because of the world-renowned success of that game. Next up is The Outer Worlds 2, and to give some backstory on this, there was a game called The Outer Worlds which came out in 2019, and this was published by Private Division and developed by Obsidian Entertainment. This is an ARPG similar to something like Fallout, where it's set in an alternate future where the game takes place in a distant star system colonized by mega corporations. And so I can assume this episode being on The Outer Worlds 2, which hasn't come out yet and is soon to come out. I'm sure it'll be following more of the same story of what continued from the first one, and maybe even an introduction into the second one. Crossfire is an online tactical shooter, something similar to CSGO, but this was initially released in 2007 in South Korea. Due to its popularity in Asia, especially in China and South Korea, it has become one of the world's most played video games by player count, with a lifetime total of 1 billion users in 80 countries worldwide. This was actually very surprising to me because I honestly had never even heard of it, and to hear that it was so large kind of astonished me. Second to last, we have Exodus. Exodus is actually a new AAA science fiction ARPG franchise from Archetype Entertainment. A quick synopsis from their website says, having fled a dying Earth, humanity has found a new home in a hostile galaxy. Here we are the underdogs, fighting our final battle for survival. You are the traveler, humanity's last hope. So we can assume this episode is probably introducing us to this world that they have been creating and this new IP that hopefully they find a player base for. I have a feeling this is going to pique some people's interest. Who doesn't love a good sci-fi world? And lastly, we have PlayStation, who are actually featuring a number of games and characters. I'm not sure if this is going to be across different shorts or episodes, or if it's all just going to be jam-packed into one episode with a whole bunch of different shorts. We have seen that God of War is going to be in there, and possibly Ghost of Tsushima. But yeah, not a whole lot of details on all of these, but definitely looking forward to what the PlayStation episode or episodes have in store for us. So overall, I'm pretty excited for most of these and possibly what's to follow. And hopefully they do actually bring up a whole lot of traction, because that only means good things for us as gamers. And hopefully we'll see more franchises brought to TV that are actually done well and actually have love put into them. I personally am definitely most excited for the Space Marine 2 / Warhammer episode. That will really be fun to see what happens after this campaign of Space Marine 2. And also, as I mentioned before, Armored Core. I'm always down to see some robots fight, especially with Keanu Reeves. That should be sick. This is releasing on December 10th on Amazon Prime, and hopefully all episodes are just released at the same time and it's not a weekly thing. Anyways, let me know your thoughts below. What episodes you're super excited for, what episodes you're not excited for, what episodes you're confused on. For me, that's Pac-Man. I have no clue what they're gonna do with it. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts below. Thank you again for all the support. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos, and thanks for watching, everyone. Talk to you later.